Merry Christmas, people. I'm your host, Token Black, and this is my friend, Smokey Robinson, aka White Tack.
Wow!
This is the first 10 Club podcast with our very special guests, the legendary Nicky Blackmarket. Say hello.
Happy
Nicky
Christmas!
And MC Bassman.
Ho, 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 but yo, yo, yo.
Good evening, people. How you doing, Nicky? How you doing, babe?
Yeah,
You good?
Brilliant.
Yeah, man. Chilling, man.
Wicked.
How was the drive?
Yeah, no, all good, man. It's all good.
Good. How was
I didn't see no 5-0, so the drive was nice.
That's good then.
That's good. You didn't get pulled over, so it's
Didn't
nice.
get pulled or nothing like that. So it was a clean drive.
Clean drive. So thank you for turning up today. Thank you for coming to 10 Club's first podcast. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, looking forward to this. So we wanted to do this for a little while, so
Yeah.
Great to be the opening of it.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
it's
all
Nicky
good.
Blackmarket.
Hey, we are the
Bass, innit?
opening
Yeah.
of the pod.
Yeah, he's our first guest, and
I said that right.
it's a big honour. It's a big honour.
You know, you've helped us out loads over the last year doing the warm-up show for Bassman's Bash and coming and doing that night at PST for us, and then Bass.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. That is exactly what it's all about.
Yeah. No, it's been really good, and you know, to work with such legends in the scene, it's really it's always a pleasure and an honour.
Yeah, serious. You know what I mean, Nicky? How was your weekend?
Yeah, full on. This weekend I went to Spain actually, and it was I flew into Alicante.
Okay.
And I played in a place called Murcia, and it was 20 degrees.
In the middle of December.
So yeah, and I could feel when I come back. It's funny because I had my big coat on. I got on the plane at Alicante, and they said to me, "You're coming back with the right stuff," because there's some people are coming back that haven't been back to England. They got shorts. They got shorts, just Hawaiian t-shirt, and
Flew straight away, mate.
and I think they're gonna feel it when they come back. And
By the time they collect their bags, they got severe flu.
they haven't even come out the airport yet. So yeah, it's really warm over there. I got 45 minutes of sunbathing before coming back on the plane.
Yeah, lucky for some.
But yeah.
45 minutes of ice.
What about you, Bass? Where you been the weekend?
Oh, just had a little sarsaparilla kids little do sharp like a razor, big thing, all that up in Malvern and all that.
Yeah.
I sang a brand new song, but I don't want to sing it on the pod radio station because it's kind of... Yeah, but just a quiet one this week, just one rave, man. It's not usually
Malvern's all right
back-to-back.
up there, though. That's a nice place up there.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. No football this week, Nicky.
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, the thing is,
No football.
yeah, I'm a QPR supporter, so
Yeah.
you know we're up and down at the minute.
So do you bring your decks on the pitch when you play? Oh, sorry. Oh, talking about watching the game.
But you know what? I take my kids down there. I make it a family thing.
Yeah.
I make it a family affair. So it's
good.
nice. You know what I mean?
good.
It's,
You see Shearer this weekend, Bass?
Well, Shearer is still a wanker, so I didn't really go to that game. I kept away from Newcastle ground. Thank you very much.
That's excellent. Yeah, so you started DJing in the 80s, isn't it, Nicky?
yeah, I started playing like house parties. Me and Clarky that used to work in my shop. He was Metalhead's resident as well.
Okay.
And we started doing like house parties, playing, before everything, playing everything, all sorts of dance music, house music before it was even called house music, just dance music, everything, reggae, soul.
I heard you started when you was 14.
About 15, 15, yeah.
So, if you played everything, did you play Just Like a Virgin? Sorry,
Not quite there. What we'd do, we'd play the whole night. We'd go in, we'd set the rig up, we'd string up, we'd play the whole night, and then we'd unstring again.
Okay.
And it was. I think that there back then, kind of that's the YTS of the you learn from doing that process. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it was back then.
What about you, Bass? Was you the what era? 80s as well?
When I started, I was like young pop.
Young pop.
Let's say just cashing the gyro, you know what I mean? 14, 25, maybe 2 weeks, so just
14,
under 50 quid
25.
and all that.
But, I never got into it till, you know, like certain things happened in my life, and then I got into the acid house. It was acid house then. Fast strobes, bright clothes, bright lights, naff, all that little gear, little cheap tracksuits and all that. How I got started, I went to Coast, and I used to just shout, "Turn up the fucking bass." That's how it started. That's how I came to the name Bassman. Plus, my car, it had the serious volumes in. It was all about the bass. So that's how the name came about, Bassman.
That's all right. So what about your pirate radios days, Nicky?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, our music has really come from pirate radio, because if it wasn't for pirate radio, a lot of this really wouldn't have gone
Definitely.
on. And it's like early years for me. Friends FM was like where I started on Friends FM. That was kind of like what you were saying, Bass, the acid house era.
Yeah.
You know, Summer of Love.
Yeah.
One time I remember going up there, and because it was back then, it was like the M25 raves. So
Yeah.
you'd have a meeting point off the M25. And you'd send everybody there, and then you'd go on from there. And one time I give out the wrong address,
So everybody's still travelling.
so I've given out the wrong address, and I had the boss Mad B there. I got to big him up. He's wicked. He's foundation. He goes. He rang me up and said, You've just given the wrong address. You can't get where everyone is. There's a big tailback on the motorway. I'll never forget it. and then from there, went on to Pulse FM. Pulse FM was one of the leading hardcore stations, because it was like the next lot of stations, and that was like the hardcore station. That was kind of like 92 era, and that was like that was a big time, because everybody was into the hardcore thing. This was straight after the acid house. Straight after the acid house, the hardcore thing, the rave, you know, bang, explosions.
I missed that.
Lights and
I never
horns.
went on no radio stations when it was acid house.
Right.
It came afterwards when it was like drum and bass later stage.
Yeah.
But there was no radio stations for me, man. It was like the days like Perception and, you know, the out of town raves. I'll never forget this one though. Groove Rider wanted a quick way out of the rave, innit? I told him to follow me. Listen, 2.5 hours in the wrong direction. When Groove Rider overtook me, see me. I'll never forget it. Honest to God, man, I could just see the tech. I could just see him blazing 2 hours the wrong way, you know. And he wants to go London.
Oh,
Listen, mate, I couldn't live that down, man. I swear to God. Laughed all the way home, mate. 2.5 hours, mate.
And then from it was Pulse FM, and then I went on to Eruption, and then I went on to Cool
with the K.
Cool FM, and that's when I bucked up with Stevie Hyper, God rest his soul, and it was the Super Sunday special on there. Super Sunday special at Cool FM. That was, you know, you had Mampy Swift, the Navigator. You had Brian G, and then Ragged Twins, and you know, and Rocky and that later on the Sunday night, and then me and Stevie, and it was
and Moose and all that, innit?
History in the making, right there.
DJ Kane as well, and there was a load of people.
What's his name, man? Sarsaparilla Kid. Ron.
DJ Ron, DJ Ron and SL, and you know. That was a next explosion, the jungle explosion. Probably to see what we're doing right now. That was kind of going on to veering off to really where we're going, what we're doing right now. So, especially in London, the pirate radio was a big thing. It was a big thing.
Way of life, wasn't it? Really,
it was a way of life. Everybody slept,
That's like
eat,
everybody
drink, shit. The whole thing, the whole thing, it's culture.
That's
It was a culture.
Everybody's like buying the newspaper. That's what that pirate radio
It was the internet.
Yeah.
It was the internet. That was the internet.
That was the internet.
It was like between my shop, the rave, and the radio. That was the internet. That was it. That was
Full
the
link,
modern day internet.
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah.
So talking about your shop, BM Soho, formerly known as Blackmarket Records, when did you open that?
Well, I went in there in 1990, and there wasn't jungle back then. There weren't no jungle drum and bass back then. You know, you could,
Great hip-hop,
1990. It was everything. And,
Everything goes, man.
and the funny thing is, so we had the top floor and the bottom floor.
Yeah.
The bottom floor we had hip hop, soul, and jazz, downbeat stuff downstairs, and then the main floor upstairs. On the floor upstairs, we had like house and rave. And then, but then our thing, what we're doing now, the breakbeat thing or whatever you want to call it back then, it was veering off. We was already veering off. So you had the likes of, what we like, what our people.
Yeah.
We would semi-consciously we wouldn't realise what we're doing.
know
So
what you- yeah.
the music at the time, we're speeding it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're putting it on +8.
Yeah.
And you had the house DJ, the regular house DJ, say, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?" But you had, the jungle heads. This sounds better like this.
Yeah, but that's how Gary's got formed up, the speeding up of
Again,
the same
see,
record.
there you go, and that's another branch
Another
of the
branch
tree,
of- yeah.
and that's another branch
Branch
of the
of the
tree.
tree, yeah, man.
That's what it's all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So we were passing it.
Yeah, it was
Then you had people that started making the music ourselves. We started making our own.
Yeah.
Label.
You had like Ibiza Records. You had Reinforced Records, Production House, SS's Formation. To name a few. That go, and so we're all going off in another direction.
Yeah.
So it was starting to get loggerheads on the main floor where I was working. And so you had people waiting, wanted to hear my music, and then you had people that wanted to hear the house music. So it nearly come to blows quite a few times. Because you had they're waiting there, and then we had our people waiting there, and it was so. I said to my partner, Dave Piccioni at the time used to run a Zulu Records, used to run the house label. That I said to him, look, I've got faith in this music.
Yeah.
We're going in a different direction. This music is here to stay. This is our music. So I said, look, we need to put it in our own department. So because at the time the hip hop wasn't carrying the
weight
the thing as it used to be. So I talked to him and I said, look, we need to put it in we'll put it downstairs. He was like, he kind of, it wasn't 100%. And I said, listen, I've got 100% in this music. It's either that or I'm out.
Yeah.
So we put it downstairs and the rest is history. So at that point there, or just before that, we had, so on the top floor, when I used to work on the top floor, you used to have Ray Keith over at City Sounds. That's before Ray came over to our shop.
Yeah.
He was working in City Sounds in Holborn. You had Frost and Brian working in MASH Passion Records in Oxford Street.
Yeah.
You had Red Records Unity. Red Records Unity went into Unity. Red Records. You had Nookie, and you had Pedro.
It's a history lesson,
over
people.
there.
A history lesson.
They were working over there, and it was funny because all of that, it was competition.
Yeah.
So it'll keep us all on the toes. So we did.
Yeah, man.
So someone would come in my shop and say, yeah, Nicky, have you heard that? Yeah, Ray's got this tune over in his shop, blah blah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then he'd hear of a tune that I'd get in the shop, and it would keep us all on our toes. But that was the
Friendly competition.
And then also and Miss Pink that used to work in our store, before she worked in our store, she worked at a shop called Ambient Soho, which is another shop in Soho. So there's these like 5 shops
Yeah,
that really
loads of
carried the swing.
competition, yeah.
And when you'd come into the West End to buy records, because it was all about the records.
Records, yeah, vinyl.
Everybody bought records.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
If you wanted a tune, you had to go and. It was the records. So
No download.
so when you'd come in the West End, you'd go and do the rounds of the shops. You know, so then that's what, you know, you'd go, oh yeah, have you heard that? Yeah, Brian and Foster in MASH, they got this tune in there. Yeah? Really? So
Send somebody in there
yeah,
later
so,
on.
so
Yo,
it
go
would
get
keep,
that.
you know, it would keep you on the toes. It would keep all of us on the toes.
Because if you know a man had more selection than you, man, to be playing that weekend and he's selling that in the shop, you've got to have the 10 paces ahead,
You got to
mate.
be on it. You got to be on it. So it was great because it kept us all on the toes. So it was great. It was a
Would you say
great time.
That helped drive you all forward because every name you've mentioned there is a legend of the scene.
Yeah, and it's great times.
Yeah.
Great times in the shop. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the shop
yeah.
because I was 25 years deep in that shop.
that shop, man.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's got of course it's got a
You
thing
felt
in
like you
my.
lost one of your nullocks, innit? Straight away, man.
But it's here. It's here.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah.
in the heart. It's
Yeah.
still there. Do you know what I mean? So
Brilliant.
it goes down in history. So
yeah.
it's like when I'm getting carried away now.
Carry on.
Carry on, man. This is history. This is a history lesson, people.
And what he means to say is like when he first got off milk.
And yeah, so when we went downstairs, when we took the shop downstairs, that's when Ray. It was crazy because Ray actually got sacked from City Sounds, and it was like as soon as we heard that he got the sack, straight on the phone.
Yeah.
Come and work
Yeah,
for
we
us.
want you over,
And
yeah.
it was literally the day after that he got the sack. He come straight over to us, which I think it was a bit of a shock for him that he got the sack, but because they were going in a different, City Sounds were going in a different direction
sound, yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
But the day after he come over to us, so
So it worked out at Christmas.
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
our Lord works in mysterious ways.
man,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It was probably meant to happen. It was probably meant to get sacked.
Yes.
You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
So,
But back in the day in the shop when them 92 when we moved downstairs in the basement, oh my gosh, that place got hot. That got really because there weren't no air conditioning back in the day.
Down in the swamps, mate.
It got boiling. So like Saturday afternoon, well any kind of could have been any afternoon. It was like a rave. It was like a dance.
Fucking dance, man.
It was like a dance. It was incredible. Across the
out their new
counter,
records.
we'd like it's like shuffling cards where we'd be 100 records deep underneath there, like a whole heap of white labels. Someone would come in and say, right, I got this new tune. I'd say, how many of them you got? Oh, I've got. He'd say he's got 4 boxes, which they're like 30. This is his entire first run of tunes. I've got 4 boxes. They're 30 in each, so that's 120 tunes. I say, here what? I'll take the lot. I'll take the lot. If you know that, you'd hear the tune, you'd know if it's a big tune. You'd know,
This is gonna blow, yeah.
I'll take the lot. I'll take the lot. Within, could be not even the day, they'd be gone. If the word would get around that the tune has come in the shop.
yeah, it's gone.
They're all coming down. Everybody's coming down in the shop. Everybody's coming in the shop, and it'd be like filing like cards across the counter.
Man. Yeah,
So
And-
is the one artist that sticks out that gave you a white label and you heard it for the first time and it's
There's loads of people. Loads. Literally loads of artists, labels, producers, loads. That which was it was nice because we started doing that. That's when we started to have our promo runs. We started doing the promo runs from in our shop. So we'd save the tune. So someone would say, "Oh, could you give that to so and so? Could you give that to Ryder? Can you give that to Fabio? Can you give that to Frost?"
Yeah.
And then they'd run the promo run from our shop, which was nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We'd be looking after everybody.
basically that's like free advertisement you was giving people back then.
Yeah,
Like, really,
but we wanted to help, and that's what it was all about. It was helping the scene.
Yeah.
That's
The
what
scene
it
was
was all
growing,
about,
so it's like-
and
yeah.
that's my award.
Yeah,
To be honest, that's
definitely.
my reward and award.
Yeah.
Is to help people get on to where they got to go.
Yeah.
That's my reward.
Definitely.
That's my real reward.
It's great.
I mean, question that comes out, I'm thinking is, at what point in your life did you know that drum and bass is what you want to do? You know, was it a conscious
No,
decision?
look, let me say this. I used to get people coming in my store, right? I used to get people coming in the store and saying, I'm ready for this, I want to, you know, like they make a tune and they're, I'm ready for this, or they want a DJ or whatever, and I'd say, listen, do you know what? You might not make it in this scene, but you know what? You might go on to make a next scene. And this, I tell people this, that, you know,
Not everybody's gonna make it, man. You know what I mean?
No.
If you got
But-
it in your
yeah.
heart, you don't
Yeah.
need to ask a man like,
Yeah.
"Yo, I'm ready." No, you're ready already.
yes,
You just do
but
it.
they
innit?
might go on to be absolutely
Absolutely
massive. They
massive,
might be a
you know.
creator of another scene.
scene,
So
yeah.
it's like me. I mean, how I started. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't start with drum and bass. There weren't no drum and bass
bass,
when
yeah,
I started.
yeah,
So, you know,
Yeah.
I helped with this, with our music.
Give people a
And
shot
it's
at
a
it.
true-
That's all
yeah.
you can do. is
So
give people a
it's-
shot at it.
Yeah. So when what you've just said to me, what did you just say to me?
Was it at what point in your life did you want to know? At what point did you know that this is what you want to do? This is
Well,
what
I mean, I've always wanted to do music. I've always wanted to do music.
Yeah.
Always from a young age. My mum give me a good kick up the arse. God rest her soul. She'd give me a good kick up the arse. She knew people like Cleo Lane, Johnny Dankworth, Ronnie Scott before even like he had his club, and she used to be a jazz dancer.
Okay.
So
it's in the blood then.
you could say that, yeah.
the
So
blood.
you could say that. So it's you know. I knew I wanted to do something, but obviously there weren't no drum and bass back then. But you didn't even realise that, like what you said, that you started with bass. You started
did you
with like
start
the
with?
acid
Yeah,
house.
Acid
thing.
house, man.
Acid house,
It was
yeah.
You
acid
didn't
house,
know
man.
where you're going
No, I
from
didn't
there.
hell, man.
We just what I think how it was. We're just loving what we're doing, and we're just carrying on.
Yeah.
Didn't know where we're gonna be. I didn't know where I'm gonna be right now. That was still doing all of this.
Yeah.
It's incredible what we're doing.
course.
That
It's
we're
made
still
it
doing
worldwide,
this.
you know,
It's
you've
it's
travelled
incredible.
Every,
I
you've
think
gone
that's-
through every genre you in
that
bass.
help-
This
that-
is you've gone from rave, jungle, techno jungle, acid house.
Started with the it was acid house then. It was like all about this new style.
Yeah.
How people take things
Yeah.
and just all hours of the night you're like, oh my god, man, I can't wait till next week, man. Yo, I'm still off my butt. Yeah, it was started off
Just
like that.
making people dance. We're
man.
giving people escapism.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
They'd lose themselves in that dance, man. They couldn't wait, man. That was like porridge, man. If you
Escapism.
If you missed a rave, what your friend went, you want to punch him in the face and be trying to tell you about that by Monday, mate. Go away from me.
So what made you want to be an MC then, bass? Like Nicky.
Well,
like,
what made me want to be an MC is the girls, man. Nah. Nah. I mean, when it was reggae days and all that, I used to MC just for my friends, not like for the public. But then when I went into the rave scene, I don't know what came out of me, but then I could perform in front of people. So it was from that. But when I started to pick up that mic, I knew to God that's what I wanted to do.
So was reggae the music that you listened to growing up? And that
Yeah,
what your
reggae
family
and soul. There was
listened
no
to?
acid
Yeah.
house. It was just blues, top of the
Yeah.
pops,
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Break that.
breakdance,
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah. The run DMCs and them guys.
You know what I mean? Big chains and all that, and grab up your front and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Just dance music. Yeah.
soul and all that, man. Jazz funk.
Yep.
So have you got a favourite old school rave from in Birmingham? Because obviously we're Birmingham based.
That was coast to coast. That's how I started. Coast to coast on top of Broad Street, by the marriage place and that big hotel. Coast to coast was there, man. That was the dog's
By the
bollocks.
roundabout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Edge, Coventry, the Eclipse.
Edge.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of it.
That was the key point, man. Every week, 3 floors at Coventry, the Eclipse.
Okay.
Neville and all them.
So when did you and Nicky actually first craft pass?
Why, you trying to chat up my bird, man? I had to go. We went at it. Nah. Well, I think it was it was different. It was like Birmingham, Worcester, different little places.
Wolverhampton,
yeah.
Amazon,
yeah, that was like man's back garden,
that
man.
was a good one.
Where was it? Amazon base?
Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton. But what used to get me, I never used to see Nicky every week. Do you know what I mean? Everybody would be coming down like Mickey Finn, Randall, Frost. Then you just know that I'm working with Nicky's at Worcester. The Worcester sauce and the kid who gets the carpets and all that. We started from there and I just said, these DJs made me want to MC. Nicky, Randall, Brian G, Mickey Finn, Carl Cox.
Yeah.
The governor.
Yeah.
They made me what I am today because the change of music, what they played. Everybody had a certain tune. 5 DJs have played it. It's boring now.
Yeah.
These mans, when they went on, you're like, oh my, did you hear the tune? I don't know what it's called. Boom, bop, boom.
And back then we used to cut plates. We used to cut
And
acetates.
you was the man when I say, where did you hear that tune? Nicky Blackmarket. He's the first man. That's the honour. Don't care if 10 DJs come after that. This is the man what I heard play that first.
Nicky. Yeah.
Nah, but that's where you know.
Oh, yeah.
Because certain people can play the same tunes. You're like, this man don't change his style, man. He's shit. Watch, he's gonna mix this one in that. My man comes and you just locked on like, man, make you wanna chat.
Yeah, gives you the vibes. Gives you the vibes,
man.
Yeah,
Gives it, man.
yeah.
That's special, man. That's
And you gotta feel it in your gut to do that. The music has gotta turn you on, like how people smoke to get high. As soon as you hear that
Personal
music,
vibes.
you're high, man.
Yeah.
It's racing through you.
yeah.
It's important to as an artist, as an MC and a DJ, it's important that you're feeling the vibe.
Feeling that vibe,
It's
man.
important. It's not like you're going to.
You know what?
No disrespects, but like you're
Have
going
you
to
seen
just
a
do
DJ?
a regular job, whatever it could be.
There's no passion in there.
You
Just
have
going
to
get
well,
paid.
you might have a passion doing whatever you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you might have a passion, but you definitely do have to have the passion what we do.
Yeah,
Definitely,
you have to
definitely.
touch your soul,
It's
man.
important.
You can't just play the music and just like, that's dry. You gotta be, you hear this one?
Yeah, you feel.
That's
it,
when you feel it.
it.
Not just playing too
Yeah.
cool, like,
Yeah.
this one's the latest hit. And
Yeah, that's
no,
all right.
that's not good, man.
Yeah.
Feel it
it's-
up like you're caressing.
It's a performance at the end of the day.
Oh
isn't
my
it?
God, this one. Hey,
And
brand new biscuit from Pip Jack and Tony Tumbers. This one is called Play With It.
And it's going to relate, and it's going to relay back to it's going to relay back to the crowd.
Crowd, man, come on.
They're going to buzz off you.
Yeah,
You can't get any better than that.
definitely. That's all about, really. If you're not feeling the music, but there's a lot of DJs that are just doing it to just do it.
Yeah, but there's a different
Yeah, I'm
type of
saying,
DJs.
like,
There's DJs
There's
what
DJs
just
out there that are just
someone could just come with a one music or one pop and think that they're the dog's bollocks.
one hit wonder producer.
That's not the dog's bollocks. It's when you be going for 15 and 20 years.
That's the
I'm 25. That's the dog's sack.
Yeah,
Yeah, experience.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have that experience under your belt. You can't just cast yourself forward and say, I'm the man.
Yeah, because you've got actual legacy behind you, really.
And you know the real thing, nobody who's at the top says they're the man. You get placed into it.
Yeah.
You know, when someone
Yeah.
goes, oh my
Never
God,
say-
that's
Yeah.
smoke! Oh! Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That hype of
course,
business, yeah.
Of course.
for me, Nicky's the nicest man in drum and bass.
Yo,
I've said it to him
I've-
many times.
Listen, I've been all over the place.
Serious?
This man, everybody what meets him, they can't believe. He's so down to earth.
Serious?
Like, he'd give you his last tenner, morning, he'll talk to you. There's no sadness like, get away, I never got my gyro.
You know, look, my mum said, oh, God rest her soul, she always said, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Yeah, man.
And I picked up the awards at picked up one of the drum and bass awards. I picked it up one time and I said that speech and the crowd went mad. The crowd went mad.
And you know,
I had a tear down my eye.
You know
just
what?
like
You could carry off anything like that because you've been in the scene for so long and still getting paid. So it's like the joys what you brought to people. You can't even count them, Nicky. We're going into the millions and millions.
You've got to enjoy.
Someone will just come up and go, 1995. That's all he remembers
yeah,
about you.
Yeah. No, it's true. No, it's true.
Oh
though.
my
It's
God.
true because everybody, obviously, everybody's era. Like, let's say, whatever their old, let's say their old school thing, whatever their era is, it's going to be different. But they'll remember in their time frame.
Yeah,
they'll remember that, and they don't forget that.
Never. Because the guy says the same thing to me. I know what you're going to say, man. You was off your box and I was the archangels of everything with this kamikaze and tripping. Do you know what I mean? And you can see the importance in him. Like, that bars to him, man, because that stayed with him for 15 years.
That's it. That's his time there.
His time,
yeah.
I've when I was in school, friggin' my secondary. When I was in secondary school, friggin' Hysteria and
Pure X.
Pure X was they was really how a scout and them.
Yeah, that was popping
the
up.
The first tapes that we used to go for, me and my brother and my cousin, that we used to fight for, that we used to go to my old man's and steal his tapes. You know what I mean? Don't make him hear that still.
Man.
You know what I mean? It was
No,
me.
I never took no
It was me, Simeon and Leon. Snitching. It was me, Simeon and Leon. It wasn't just me. It was all of us.
All of us. Because he had the living ones.
He had the listen.
When you heard them, you're like this. Oh my God, he ain't getting this back.
Not getting it back. You know what I'm saying? And one that was always missing, the Nicky Blackmarket's gone. That's gone. That's gone. Me and my brothers fighting over. That's gone. That's missing. Nicky Blackmarket. That's one of the first tapes we're taking out the pack. Like, yo, where's the Nicky gone?
It's crazy when you think about it.
All the packs.
Never would have thought. You know, thank the Lord that those things did get recorded.
Definitely.
That they did get recorded. Because I know there's some DJs out there that didn't want the sets recorded. But thank God that they did record them because that's parts of history. That's parts of history there.
Imagine there was no data though. You're like,
no.
Where did I play? When?
You're not.
When? What was that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to
gone.
be fucking stored in history, man.
It's
innit?
gone.
It's all in the archives.
Part of history.
Part
of history gone.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When I was MCing, I didn't even know they were selling the fucking things at foreign. You know, like I get to a place first time,
I'll tell you now. Canada. Let me say about.
Yo, you're from Germany. You did. But they're getting sold all over the place. I'm like.
I mean, there was Toronto, right?
My time span
See,
was just
Toronto.
like that, innit?
Let me tell you this. Toronto, when the jungle thing exploded, and there was a little movement in Toronto, Canada, and they bootlegged those raves. They bootlegged them. But I tell you now, that made a lot of people famous over there.
Yeah.
It made people famous.
I actually saw an interview of you in Canada. I'm sure I saw it on Facebook.
Did you sell it?
No, sorry. No, it's an old one.
95.
Yeah, it
me,
was around then.
Stevie Iper, God rest his soul, and Devious D. And we were on this program called, it was like Canada's early version of MTV stroke
Canada.
Top of the Pops. It's coming like Top of the Pops. It was coming like Top of the Pops. And we went on there. This was like 95. We went on there and it was weird because we couldn't get our head around
How popular it was.
it was. But the thing was, what was going on was, they'd call for a break, right? They'd call for a little break, right? They'd call for a break, and everyone would stop because you'd have people dancing, and they're not actors, but they were dancers. They were dancers, and all of a sudden there'd be a break. A break would come in. They go, that's it.
Yeah.
And everyone would just stop, and the three of us be like, What's going on? What is that? What? Stop. And then it would say 5, 4, 3.
Nicky
2,
Blackmarket is
1.
go.
And then it's
Okay, so it's basically like
and it,
the Soul Train, like the
yes,
like the Soul.
it was like that.
But for drum
and
and
it
bass.
was well, not just for, but it was for dance music.
Yeah.
But we would go, we went on there and we showcased our thing and we played a little set in there. But it was kind of weird how they'd cut for the breaks. They would cut. And then and everyone would just stop and like, have a cigarette and
just like this, like
yeah.
you're just talking there. Cut.
That's it.
5, 4.
And that would be,
hold on.
Yeah, and off they go again. And that was kind of, that really did throw us off. That was kind of mad. It was mad.
Yeah, man.
Surreal.
That's good. Because America is, you just done a tour of America as well, haven't you? America's kind of like the do.
Yeah, we went over to which
drum and bass.
was kind of, I mean, with America, you've got little pockets of scenes. It's really, really small pockets.
Yeah.
But it's all over the country. I remember how big their country is.
Yeah, their country's big.
Country is massive.
2 weeks
so
and you're still
we,
there.
we was like, it was like a Saturday night every night.
Every night, yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you do that as 360?
We done a 360 tour. Yeah, we went to we did New York, then Los Angeles, then went down to San Diego, and we went back up to Los Angeles, then across to Orlando, then we went down to San
Fran.
No, we went to an island in the Caribbean, which was beautiful. Then we went back up to New York and then back home again. But where the traveling what we did was like, it was like a Saturday night every night.
Every night.
It was crazy. It was like
And to
pure
fit it in with your
traveling.
just traveling.
You need a holiday after that. because we're going through different time zones and then there's hardly any sleep.
Yeah.
And there's hardly any sleep, and then the promoter said, "Hey, we're gonna have a party afterwards." And, no, mate, we're going. We want to have a 3 hours kip in the hotel. We're gonna chill.
Yeah.
We're all right, thanks.
Yeah, I ain't tying no more matches to my eyes anymore.
It's fighting to stay away.
Yeah, man.
Serious?
But it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
man.
fun, but you need a break.
And I ain't dropping no yellow ones no more neither. It just kind of freaked me.
So it was your first one, bass. Where was your first international, like, where did you realise that drum and bass was, like, big abroad? Like, where was the first calling for you abroad? Like,
Oh, God. That must have been, like, Germany. When I first went to Germany, man, that was it, man. I had the biggest Wembley Trophy balls in the world. Actually catch a plane and know these people have heard of me. I'm thinking, fucking hell, they probably haven't. Let's go in. Say B-A-S-S-M-A.
They know all your lyrics,
Parsley,
everything.
9, Luger. I was like,
They know all your lyrics, everything.
it's like, where do you hear that? Where?
yeah.
That's when I knew my stuff was selling abroad.
But it's such a nice feeling,
Oh,
isn't it?
definitely, man.
But when you get the crowd, especially as an MC, when you get the crowd singing your lyrics, that must be the ultimate.
Don't forget, when I was going to Germany, I was like, who's going to translate and tell them what this word means?
They know it all.
No, not thinking that they understand English.
Yeah, they all speak English anyway.
And they learn off the telly, some of them.
Yeah.
Not like just necessarily learn English. They just watch off the telly and watch how people's go on and pick up the words. Because half of them have got their German and then they got their English where they...
I mean, it must be a mad feeling. You must go everywhere and people notice you. Wherever you go, people must notice you and come over and say hello.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I can imagine. You love to talk to people, don't you? So,
Like I said, Nicky's the nicest
It's
man in
great.
drum and bass.
I'm at the airport and
man.
I'm at the airport just queuing up to get on the plane,
And someone
and I'm
just
hearing
walk
Nicky,
Nicky.
and I'm like, me? Who? Me?
It happened to me when I went to Birmingham, man. That Asian guy, you know, like going through that little box. And he went like this, are you Bassman? I was like, oh my God, how did you know that? I'm looking at him like an alien. He's like, are you Bassman? I was like, oh man, I'm touching up my face.
It's like, how does he know who I am?
Straight away, and on that bus, I ain't got a mic or nothing.
Serious?
Proper shocks you, innit?
incredible. It's
Even
incredible.
to this day, innit? When
It's
someone
incredible.
shouts, innit?
No, it's incredible.
I'm passing
it's
like,
great.
there's the man with the big fingers. Oh, mate, too dark. Come on, Tansy. Lemonade, righty, all about whack, whack.
Yeah. So we spoke a lot about the history of drum and bass and your histories. Where do you feel it's gone now, and where do you feel it's going in the future?
You know what? It's going wild, man. These are all cannibals out of here now. You just gotta grab a little quick biscuit over there, sell that dub plate over there, tell that monkey that to change his hair. This one, don't listen to him because I heard he got close to somebody last. You know what? It splooses into where it is today. Grime, house, all that got created from drum and bass.
It's like another branch of the tree. It's just different branches of the tree. It's great that it's still here.
So
we're still doing our thing.
30, 40 years, if we're not here, what music's going to be like? Yeah. I remember Nicky Blackmarket when he played that.
Yeah,
I remember bass when he said he made love to his first wife.
yeah, all of the archives is serious. It's true though.
It stays in history, and you can not be forgotten.
No, definitely not.
Especially with technology these
And it's
days,
like, like I say, it's just
Another branch
more
of the
branches,
tree, yes.
more branches are being made.
So are you
it's
happy
great.
with where it's gone though?
Oh, without a doubt.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, without
If we
definitely.
were still there now, we'd be still like on paper round money. You know what I mean?
And what do you think of the splitting subgenres of drum and bass? Because obviously drum and bass as a whole has liquid, you've got your jumper,
Well,
your
I mean,
minimal.
think about, look, it's all it's all our music.
It
It's
is.
all our
Yeah,
music.
I love it all.
The thing is, you got to think, especially our country, right? Especially our country, we like to pigeonhole things, right?
Yes.
We've always done that with our music. Wherever you look at, we really are one of the forefronters of all the musics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wherever, all around the world, they come and look at us.
Yeah,
Wherever it is, they do come wherever.
The way I see it is like this, man. It's like you got war and all that, yeah? If it wasn't for music, most of us probably be dead. Cause
Without a doubt.
Without a
Without
doubt, you
a
need
doubt.
that little extra little thing
Without a doubt.
to take you away, or else it's just, hey, you're dead. Ah! Do you know what I mean, though?
Music is the key of
It's the
life.
key of
it
life,
really
and
is.
and it chills
It
you
is.
out.
And that
It
comes
chills
to
me
the
out.
Shows
genres of
through
drum and
people,
bass.
shows through the music,
yeah.
and no matter what, like what you just said about genres, different genres. I mean,
No
who
matter what
cares
mood
what,
you're in.
I just
whatever.
call it
But
drum and bass
obviously,
now. I'm
with
not even
our
interested.
country, we do kind of pigeonhole things. That's what we, as a country, that's what.
Because you got
we do.
you got the liquid scene over there now, which I don't really agree to. Car really, to me, it's all drum and bass. I
It's
don't
all
like
music.
You got the
It's
rollers
all
over
music.
there, and then they're
Yeah.
trying to the jump ups. To me, it's all drum and bass.
It's
I
all
don't.
drum and bass.
It's all
that's
music.
What the key is, music, man.
It's all music. It's all our music.
Without a doubt.
It's a British musical movement. That's
Yeah.
what our thing is.
I remember
it's our
reading a
thing.
thing online, and it really hit a spot with me because it said something like, everyone loves drum and bass, they just haven't heard the right song yet. And that's because I thought how diverse our music is. You've got stuff for when you're calm and chilled, you've got stuff
Everything,
for
yeah.
aggressive.
But you know
And
what?
it's
You
all
got
in
everything.
one genre of drum
You
and
got
bass.
basics of drum and bass. What everybody plays. That's not drum and bass. It's when you hear that one. Yo,
What's that? What's that?
Do you get?
What's that one?
Yeah, chills
Yeah.
on the neck.
You know, like
goosebumps and that. Yeah.
When we done that radio, me talking and you
Yeah.
play tunes what I've never heard in my life, mate. To make me chat that lyrics, man.
I know.
Sweat on my balls and nah, but you made me chant it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then you know the key one, what you just come out with.
What's that?
Wee Willy Wink.
Willy Wink.
No, token. That is the baddest CD. And then
I
he
don't know
goes
if
like
you
this.
heard it, Nicky,
Listen.
but he had to stop the tune. He was laughing that much. He had to tell me to rewind
Listen,
it.
and then he went like this. Giddy up. Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Every time I'm in the car, me and this person in the car, this is us. We're both looking at us. Somebody's going to do it as well. Giddy up. You have to do it to that. And you're coming right at the time after the wee willy. Listen, man. Honest to God, that's like that was fucking your that tune.
That's
But
it.
But that's,
honestly
you see, it's all
amazing.
about memories like
yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah.
And that's what our music does.
Yeah.
And the
That's what it
wild
does.
boys.
Wild boys in the
You know what I mean?
country.
That's like that's down to you.
Yeah.
Something what I've not heard before. And Token doing them lyrics.
Yeah.
He's just felt it in his. Yo, yeah. She should. What do you say? You say she should. I know. You say something on there.
I know when
She gives a
the
good
blow.
blow.
That one.
Yeah.
Nicky's face.
Like wow. Sorry, people.
The
Sorry.
combination of that smoke though.
Yeah,
That's the baddest.
You know what? For
Baddest
me,
set
growing
ever.
up, when I was at school, you were the ringtone. Everyone had you
Had
as
that
their
ringtone.
ringtone.
Yeah, man, I
You
know.
were UMC, and I can't even remember which lyric it was.
Scorpio tune.
Yeah, what was the lyric again?
yeah.
I can't
I know.
remember, but it was brilliant. Everyone
Don't say
had
the
you as that.
Historia packs,
You
the
know,
Amazon
I know, man.
packs.
And when I started
yeah.
getting the packs, listening to obviously Mickey Fid, everyone amazing. Went to my first raves at Custard Factory, and that was it. I fell in love.
Fell in love, yeah.
Fell in love, and now, about 9-10 years later, I'm sitting in here with you two. It's amazing.
What I used to
can't
find,
believe it.
I used to give guys lift and all that, and then check my packs afterwards. The bassman's gone out the pack. I want to chuck the whole tape pack out the window now. I only listen to myself.
He makes himself laugh.
Oh,
That's
look at
right.
himself.
If I was there and you play the blinder, I'd have the thing.
Yeah.
I just want to hear myself. Serious, and the other CDs are getting dusted. Someone go, listen to Groove Rider Smear. Yeah, but I wasn't on it. Nah, but it saddens me.
Are
you
you
know
like
what I
that,
mean?
Nicky?
wanna
Are
be
you a
on
bit
all
like
of
that, Nicky?
Come on.
Do you
Do you know what? I like to
Right.
listen to all of them. I like to listen to the whole lot.
Yeah. I think as a DJ, listening to other DJs is obviously always good to remember.
Competition and
what
all
they're
that.
doing.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this
Just
tune?
yeah, and it's
These
just
sort
nice
of
to
things.
listen.
I'm the same as bass,
to
really.
hear.
Me, I'm like bass as an MC, so it's probably different for MCs and DJs. Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes
Bit
like,
selfish.
yeah, you can have MCs what don't turn you on.
Yeah.
Don't do
true
nothing
that,
for you.
true that.
But you know what? Fuck it. He's doing his fucking
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
There's all gels to like people. Not everybody can be liked by the same person.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So
You've got a label cartoons, haven't you, at the moment?
Cartoons,
How
yeah,
long's-
yeah.
how long's
It was
that been going?
well. We had it. Basically, it was a label for the shop.
Oh, okay.
It was. We first had Gyroscope, which was like kind of in the hardcore era, and then we decided to when the jungle thing was coming in,
Yeah.
we brought up cartoons,
Oh, okay.
and then we stopped it, and now I brought it back as digital.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's a lot easier now with.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do it. I'd still want to do. I want to do a few record runs for like special, like a special one-off. At the minute, it's just digital at the moment, but we're up to number 21,
Okay,
which
is
is Crucial and
rag?
Ragga Twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got that up there.
Yeah,
So that's
Oh,
out
yeah,
on
yeah,
that's
yeah,
up
yeah.
to
23rd.
21 as digital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's. We'll have a listen to that because I haven't even heard that one yet. But out on the 23rd, that is.
Yeah. Ragga Twins.
That
Enough
on
love to
Beatport,
Ragga
Juno
Twins.
download.
all of
everything
them.
like that.
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
So go check that out. So SDC then, bass. When did that start?
The story behind
Huh?
the SDC.
When did SDC start? How did that come about?
Shadow Demon
Sorry,
Coalition.
well, I was Shadow Demon, but when Sly came and then Shady and Spider. So, when it came to that, then became the extra C word for the coalition. So it was Shadow Demon Coalition. It was DJ Sly, Shady, me, Spider, and Juice Man, and Trigger. That combination there, that was like the good, the bad, the ugly, and the real handsome one. Guess I was the handsome one. Nah, but
See, let me just stop you there. Your birthday bash, 97 Bakers.
Bakers.
Was that 97?
Yeah,
Yeah,
97,
roadblock.
Oh
98.
my gosh,
God, yeah.
that was a complete roadblock.
My school
know,
days.
Yeah.
You, Spider, Trigger,
Long John.
Long John.
Yeah, Long John.
Full crew.
Full crew, man.
yeah.
But the guys was just like a bunch of baboons. You see, the ones that couldn't get in, they took out the 10,000 pound glass out of the door. I
rushed
mean,
the
See,
doors.
push it.
Yeah.
That's
pushed it
what,
like it was like a Rizzler like that. Just pushed it out.
Yeah. But
That's
that
it, and
added
it
to it,
kicked
though,
off,
that
and it kicked
that kind of
off.
added
It
to
kicked
it.
off like how the West was won. Things was blazing, glasses ducking, diving, glad that you got out today at that perimeter of the dance, but inside was jam-packed Baker's nightclub.
It was a good dance.
It was good,
It
man.
was a good dance.
Definitely, that pack's
But I mean, I
legendary.
remember you just come off with on the top of the tip of your tongue. You just come because of course you were angry.
Yeah,
you were
man,
angry.
fucking hell,
Someone rushed the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And you come off with lyrics.
Yeah.
You know.
Dead, man. Yeah.
And it's on those tape backs.
And
It's on them tape
You
backs.
get caught fucking around, you get taken round the back, and beaten
battered
severely.
round the lips severely. Believe that.
Yeah, some
man.
one
But that was
Good.
that was a
Them was
Proper
a
dance.
turning points in it.
Yeah, I still listen
Yeah.
to them
You know what I
packs.
mean?
I do.
yeah.
I still listen to that.
Going on about bassist one-liners, have you got a favourite?
There's too many. There's too many.
But he was known as the
Yeah.
the VR,
VR, because I used to go around. Yeah,
He used to have the VR and be
VR
spotted,
6 done.
and then
When he's at the train station, he'd be like, mind the gap.
and then
Shadow Prime Minister, the Shadow Cabinet. He's got so much names. He's like me, man. They're like the X-Files, you know what I mean? FBI looking for us and all that. Scully and Mulder and all that. So that was classic them days when I used to see him. He was like, mind the gap. Oh, the VR6 done. Everybody on the planet who had a VR followed Nicky.
Yeah.
He was the first man to have the VR6.
yeah. 2.8 chipped up to the 3.2. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Them man,
Yeah, reach to London, half an hour.
Hey, the man had a small fridge in the back and a wardrobe. 2.8.
The whole
but
thing in there.
It changed to the 3.2.
Yeah.
And, gentlemen, when he took off, mind the gap.
The distance.
Nicky's got, man.
Got many names, man.
He must
for
have
Nicky,
done
man.
some convoys, man.
Oh, serious, man.
Serious convoys.
I've seen people like we're all driving and everybody wants to reach there first. Next thing you know, the man's wrapped round a lamppost and all of us are like, bah, 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 bah. We ain't waiting around. We're going to the rave, man.
Yeah, of course. What about them days where you used to be like Manchester days, the shotguns, the shotgun days?
Ooh, I remember
The
Hacienda.
Art House.
Hacienda as well.
Yeah.
Hacienda. I remember turning up Hacienda, and there was, I think there was Ryder, Brian G, Frost. I think you was there.
Yeah.
Trigger, Spider.
Big time.
And
mate.
all I remember is like, and I'm like, and I've never seen
is
gunshot.
that? Yeah.
I've never actually seen a gunshot before.
what the
And I was like,
fuck's
what's that?
What's that?
I was like, I was just, what on earth is that? What was that? And I see sparks going off.
Yeah.
I thought, what is that? It's just someone's letting off gunshots. And then I hear is, "Ah!" And the crowd's going mad. The crowd's going mad. I was like, was that real gunshots?
I
And
mean,
that
that first rave where I went to, it was Dark House and
Yeah, the lighthouse in Moss Side.
some serious
Yeah,
some
same with that. The ceilings all coming off.
some serious guys met me and they said, when you come in Manchester, stay at the first petrol station. I was like, I'm in there now, not even thinking anything. 3 cars coming, 2 Peugeots and a Renault GT5 Turbo, the little one, the 2 doors.
Yeah.
And Peugeot 1.9.
There were 6 guys and they were armed to the teeth, bringing me into the rave. When I got in there and I looked up on the ceiling, listen, bullet holes, left, right, and centre,
yeah.
mops going off, blue flame, red flame, trip my bazooka, mop good.
And it was going off.
It was going off. I'm
letting
telling
off
you,
live rounds.
these guys, what I
letting off
brought,
live rounds in the dance.
I brought 4.
You would never see that in
I bought
anywhere.
4.
No.
I bought 4 young guys from Kings Norton. After the first tune, all of them was hiding in my Golf GTI with the seats down like this. Anybody got a light? They never moved from there. I went, that's the hell. That's hell, mate.
But nobody was getting hurt.
But
though.
they
That's
were
the-
good vibes.
Yeah, nobody got
They
hurt.
were good vibes.
You know why?
They really were good vibes.
Nobody got hurt.
No.
They had a truce. They had a truce that anybody comes under there, no one's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So it was
It's
like
just-
a playground
it's
for
just the ceiling that's-
gangsters.
Yeah.
The only place that's
Another
getting
place,
hurt
Marcus Garvey,
Marcus Scott,
Nottingham.
Yeah.
great
And
times.
Leicester,
Leicester Starlight.
Yeah.
Starlight and Winston Green.
Greens,
Great,
yeah.
When it popped up
great
on the
times.
Yes, so by the Summerfield,
And
yeah.
the old Institute,
Q Club as well.
Porsche Club.
Q Club, yeah.
So it's got to go off all these little places to get
Yeah,
the
but nobody actually got hurt. That's the
I
worst
know.
thing about it.
It was-
like how
it
the
was,
guns crime
It was
and
like
it is
a bunch
now.
of Mexicans coming into town. You know, we just
Yeah.
all sold all the herds and all that. And we're going straight to the bar.
Yeah,
for
just making this
a
up.
bourbon and a
Yeah,
rye
no-
and two of them little can girls and shit. God damn. You know, like legs up and all that. You know, I'm in the front row and all that.
yeah.
Clean. That's when Cowboys had a bath. Just that one time.
Yeah, the one time.
Because me and Nicky, we was first in the dirty underpants gang.
But I remember when I went the first time I went to the Dark House.
Dark House, yeah.
You know, and I see the ceiling. I was like, what on earth is that? It's the bullet holes in the ceiling.
And concrete missing and
Crazy. But people, when they let off the
It's just the
people
tunes that you are playing. That's why.
they
the
were
rhythm that
enjoying
you're
themselves.
playing.
Nowadays, you just get a middle finger and a fuck off.
and that's really like a quiet night in.
That's probably Bassman's fault.
Oh yeah, I got the blame for that. Bringing all the badness and the gangsters and all the gangster rappers into the scene of the
But as
beat.
much as that was going on, though, there was still no actual violence.
Violence.
There's
No one
actual,
died.
Nobody died. As much as
No,
see,
I mean,
like now,
obviously, there was
like,
certain little bits of trouble
there
in
was certain
certain
trouble, like,
places,
because-
You get
but
that
people
anywhere,
you get that
people
everywhere.
were enjoying themselves.
I'm not saying that a man didn't taste his own blood,
Yeah.
but you know, nobody actually slept forever.
Yeah, because a lot of people. No, a lot of people. A lot of promoters like them days would get scared of booking certain artists because they're scared of the crowd that they're gonna bring.
I
And
mean, that was the trouble with me. You know, don't buy the book base with too much gangster rappers are following it, or bad boys and shit. You know, so what if I know Billy?
yeah, me. Did that affect Did you see that affecting the drum and bass scene? Like when that was happening, like
I think it affected it bad, but it also made it good. To say that you
I think
lived through that era.
our, you know, like our little thing didn't bother. You know, like if a mainstream club wouldn't have, they might not have the likes of us.
yeah,
but then again, the jungle scene was an underground thing.
underground
It was
thing,
our own thing.
yeah. So it didn't really affect it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, now it's cool to go to a rave like nowadays. I remember, you know, when I first started going, the people were all going out to clubs in town centres, the little roses and things like that. But now it's cool to go to a rave. Everyone in Birmingham goes to what they call.
You'd be on your.
now,
You see what
Rainbow.
rave was? Rave was a thing where it's all right to smoke then, because it was a bad scene, because it was like drugs. What nobody understood these tablets and
weed,
loved
cannabis,
up and
You know, when everyone
yeah.
could smoke in the clubs.
Yeah.
clubs.
Yeah.
That's when it was
As
like it
the
was
first
cooking,
time,
man.
the first time that I see the smoking ban was in Dublin,
Dublin, yeah,
in Ireland, right?
And it can
I
go
went
off.
I went over there, and it kind of thought, what the fuck is going on here? Because all of a sudden they'd leave to go outside to have a
yeah.
cigarette,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, that's not right. What's that all about?
Yeah, but that started a lot of trouble. That did that.
Really?
No smoking
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
club.
I
yeah,
reckon
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
reckon
It
so.
actually, man.
I
Yeah,
reckon so.
They
Yeah.
had to get
Yeah.
extra security, man. The
Yeah.
man started telling what I can't. Yo, I'll mash you off. You got
But
the ones where you
it was just really, it was surreal because one minute they'd be like dancing, you know,
And
like
when
I
the
say
crowd's
before
half the crowd's
the band come
Band
into
come in, yeah.
Ireland before it come in England.
England, yeah.
So when I went over there to play, and they said to me, "Oh, look,
You
it
can't
might be a
smoke
bit
that."
weird," and it didn't sink in at first until I'm playing, and then all of a sudden, half the people went off, and I'm like, "What's
and don't
on
you
there?"
see
how the song
It
goes
was,
on?
yeah.
You know what the-
I ain't playing that shit. What's going on?
You know what the worst thing? They messed up the drum and bass scene because you see, if you're in a warm establishment, liquor, everything else, you got to go outside and smoke a fag. You're smoking that 200 miles an hour, mate, to get back in. 'cause
And
it
I'm not
freezes.
being funny. Look, I mean, I don't smoke anymore, but I'm not being funny. The smoke in the environment will get rid of any kind of any kind of
trombone,
whatever's
yeah,
odor, any odor or any
everything, innit?
whatever, it will get
Now
rid of
you
it.
can pick up a man's breath on Liverpool Street.
But it would, it would neutralise
Everything else, mate.
whatever's, a bad smell or
Smoke
whatever.
just dropped a powerful fart, and then, talking, smoking on the strand, and it covers it. But if Token wasn't smoking on the tobacco, we all killing him. What's that smell?
So
It would neutralise.
Neutralises it, man.
Because there could be some kind of, there might be a little fluid thing in the air or whatever. That
So
the
you know
smoke
what?
would get rid of it.
I'm going to start selling.
Neutralise it.
I'm going to start selling Zaflora. As you come in, you just sprinkle that all around the plane. If you want to get a mop, you get a mop. But all what Nicky says, it neutralizes all bad odors and shit.
Like the Domestos adverts.
Febreze and shit.
Kill known germs.
Oh God, is it better? Sliding down the toilet.
Yeah. So that is kind of is
Anytime you see there's a little sign of me and Nicky meet each other, he could be over that other side of the room. He just goes like,
yeah.
I know. It's a sign language.
It's not.
Telepathic. Yeah. So we've got across that. Yeah, the smoking thing kind of messed up the scene. You know what I'm saying?
It does, man, because you have to go outside to puff on something and miss 2 tunes what's playing. And then you miss this spot. And then
do you think that's missing? Do you think that's the missing link from the scene?
it definitely is, because you see that smoking.
Even though I don't smoke anymore, but I respect that if you want to smoke.
No, it is, man.
Yeah.
It is what
Listen,
it is.
that got a lot of people chucked out clubs and banned, or bouncers getting smashed in the face.
Yeah, or even
Because it's only
ravers
certain
getting roughed
people.
up by bouncers.
You can see they go over the top. A guy's got a little smith. Boom, he's gone.
Yeah, the security
And then they're
wankers,
leading him out.
some of them are.
But with the next man now, with a big black man, like, you're going to put that out, mate.
Yeah, me
You know, we
smoke,
don't,
yeah,
you know,
everywhere we
you know
go.
what I mean?
That-
You don't
of
take
course.
it. Yeah,
Of course,
So we
but,
know
because all of a sudden this law comes in like that.
That-
It just
bam.
comes in, and
What's that about?
what's the change? It's like people ain't gonna change because they
It's
said,
hard.
"Oh, you have to stop that."
I refuse to go to certain venues
Because you
I
can't
can't
smoke.
smoke.
But that's another thing. Some people won't go to certain
I
venues.
won't go if I can't
And what do we do,
Yeah.
smoke, when we can't do that? We're outside till 3 seconds to go.
yeah. Yeah, it's smoking.
Go on, back to that.
Yeah.
Under that tree at that festival.
Yeah, and then we're going in the rave like this. Hold your breath, lads. Old hours. Can't MC. Because you're holding your breath.
Yeah.
Your turn. Oh, come on, man. Mess up the clubs, man, but no smoke. Go outside. And it's raining. Sleet. Come on.
Right, so we've got some quickfire questions we were going to throw past you.
Oh gosh.
Right, you got to answer them as
They're
quick as you
separate,
can.
yeah, I mean,
We've got 10
we've
for
got
you,
10
Nicky.
for you, Nicky.
10 for you, Bass. So, they start off kind of easy. So, favourite colour?
Red.
Blue.
Oh, sorry.
Blue. Okay, favourite food?
That's a
telling
that's a
you.
hard one.
Favourite meat?
That's a
Steak.
chicken.
Chicken. Okay. Favourite drink?
Pop.
Tea.
You know what mine
Tea.
is.
We
Tea.
know
Nah,
it's tea.
I like tea, but I also, you know, the one pop
Probably
that
tea.
done it for me was Ribena Spring. Ting-a-ling-a-ling.
I've got to say, right? I've got to say, look, my mum always said, God rest her soul, she always said to me, right, if you drink a hot drink in a hot climate, it will bring your body temperature down.
It does.
So if you're in the
It does, man.
dance,
It does.
you see me with a cup of tea, it will bring your temperature down.
That's a lesson,
It's a known
kids.
fact. It's
A lesson,
logic.
kids.
It's logic.
Take it in.
I can vouch for that. 20,
It's logic.
24/7.
So when someone sees me drinking a cup of tea, oh, what are you
Token.
drinking that for?
So, do you think the bar should
Do you remember
start
when you had
serving
that
tea
sandwich and that
That'd be
cheese
good.
thing on the
Oh,
mug?
gosh.
And then I went, Token, the only thing that's going to sort you out, hot chocolate with
Hot
loads of
chocolate,
sugar. My
A
mum was
hot
like,
drink?
"Man,
Yes.
you know,
No because fucked people, yeah. One good, yeah.
yeah, it
Hot
brought you
drink
back
saves
It's
round.
a
back
hot
to
drink.
life, yeah.
A hot
Hot
drink
drink, man.
in a hot climate.
Yes, we'll save ya.
Nicky's
It'll
top
bring
tips there.
bring your temperature down.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Make sure you got your flask, people.
Innit? And we're also originating. Some flask is going to come out next year. He's called Mind the Gap Flask. Come on, Nick.
Ready, first.
Go on.
Have you got a favourite country? Holiday destination or anything like that?
Canada.
Yeah. Canada. Yeah.
Canada, okay.
Both of yours, Canada.
Favourite label?
SDC.
Label as in
Record label
Oh,
for drum and bass.
fucking hell, there's so many, man. Isn't there?
thousands.
Huh?
Thousands.
A Nicky Blackmarket record.
Cartoons. Cartoons, that one.
Nicky's one.
Serious, man.
All right, so I'm guessing you won't have a favourite track of all time, have you? There's obviously 25 years of thousands and thousands of drum and bass.
Probably,
songs.
Again, there's
probably,
too many,
mine's Pulp Fiction.
be
Pulp
here
Fiction.
for.
Pulp Fiction for bass, yeah.
That's a big,
Yeah.
that with thousands of others.
Have you got a favourite set from this year?
From this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
High priority at PST.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Sphinx, the secret weapon.
I think Naz Festival. That was
okay.
good.
Yeah.
That was good. I did it. We did a 360. Me, Profile, and Fat Man. We did 360 set, and that was like that was kind of nuts.
Yeah,
And mine was Hospitality.
Wicked.
Me, you, and Barman.
yeah.
It's like I was on TV, man. I was doing some bars where
Sick.
I was singing.
Surreal.
I was singing, man.
Was that?
I
Surreal.
was singing at the top of my voice.
Oh no,
That's the one that's just gone.
Hospitality in the
Yeah,
park, and it
yeah,
rained. It was brilliant, mate. Top shelf, mate. And they didn't even record it.
Oh.
Peak.
But that's
That was-
what
just-
happened.
that's
This is
what
what
happens,
happens when
yeah.
it's.
We have got
Favorite
favourite MC.
MCs to work with, like if you've got a favorite MC.
I like X-Man,
Exy, legend.
You can say
Fearless.
Token.
I do like Foxy. There's a good few of them. Harry Shotter. There's a good few,
Yeah.
man. There's a good few.
Hey Foxy, I'm gonna get you with them chords soon. You know, don't
Yeah,
worry,
mate.
you'll be on here soon, Foxy. Them
But I like doing backup with the X-Man.
X-Man.
Guys, he's got bars like me. I'm a bit more chiseled, you know. No disrespect, X-Man. You know, we're all handsome and all that shit, but I'm more chiseled. Yeah, but I love working with X-Man, man. Concrete respect, mate.
What about you, Nicky?
Well, I mean, we got the 360 thing going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Fat Man's obviously.
Fat Man
Yeah.
and Profile. We got a
about
little
me?
thing.
Well, that adds.
What about me?
Listen, this guy, without a doubt.
Yo,
Listen,
what
without a
about
doubt. Of course. Of course. No, of course. Of
Nah,
course.
man.
Old school.
Old school, mate.
Old
Yeah.
school. But then, you know, it's when you, I think, when a DJ gets with an MC,
Yeah, that's
it's
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 it,
different
yeah.
vibes.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
different vibes.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's great to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Do
work
you know
with
what I
so
mean?
much.
It's great to be.
And what I like with Nicky when I'm MCing, he can't keep a straight face. It's got to be one bar what just makes him just like. Seriously.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Man.
That's
Having
what
a
it's all
good
about.
fucking laugh,
Have a
mate.
good time. That's it. So, what would you say your biggest accomplishment
Yes.
in or out of drum
Drum
and
bass.
bass?
Can be
Mine.
anything in life. Anything.
biggest
In the
Mine
music
is-
or out.
The number of women I've actually said.
I think.
Nah, fun and joke aside, my big accomplishment is actually staying alive and still kicking it. 27 years in the business of the BASSMA.
Still doing this,
So
yeah.
that's the biggest accomplishment. I'm still accomplishing it. Still going on now.
Still going on, yeah. Still
think-
Stable, stop
yeah.
making me, side dip and yeah.
Spink.
Spink, yeah.
Oh, spink.
I
Wee
think still-
Willie,
I think-
Wee Willie
yeah.
spink.
I think it's because look,
Don't
still
blink.
doing this.
Stop
thing.
think. Spink. Oh my God. That's a rap. You got to get that on a tune. Serious, that's yours, man.
Makes tunes.
He makes them
Let's
now.
do this.
For me,
Yeah.
as in business and to do with
Right,
this whole
still
music
being
is
around.
still doing this whole thing. Still
I'd love
doing
to
this
achieve
thing.
that even 10 years in the game. Like, it would be
definitely.
fucking great.
And then personally, I think having 5 kids.
Yeah, the family.
Having 5 kids.
Yeah.
And it's great having them around.
Yeah.
And now they're coming to the dances.
Oh,
They're coming. It's crazy.
Hey, I just want to ask you one question. Have you still got the first underpants on the first dirty underpant gang what we used to run?
There's a smile on his face. That means he's still got him. Bit black now and torn and raggy and shit, but he's still got it. Don't forget, folks, dirty underpant gang.
So have you got any like a DJ that you like to work with, like back to back, like both for you, like
Who does it for you? You
you've
know,
got
you're
DJs like
there's fucking thousands of for you.
or your
but who-
competition. It might not even like.
No, I mean,
you have
for me,
that drives you
it's-
as a.
there's so many.
There's so many. innit?
Of course, Profile, Ray Keith,
Yeah.
Kenny Ken. We done a
Ken,
back to back the other
Randall.
week. That was wicked.
Shit like that, man.
Voltage.
Yeah,
He's fun.
Yeah.
You know, so there's again when you're playing with different people, you catch the different vibes.
Vibes, innit? Yeah.
You get different vibes.
Full
So
energy.
Because I know,
it's
like,
great.
if I was a DJ now and he played a better record than me, you know, I'm going to fight him after the rave, innit? There's just no two ways about it, man.
I want that record.
Like some DJs, I've seen Ray Keith and all that look at you like, and you're like, you know what I mean? Because he ain't got it. And he goes, well, where'd you get fucking that on right there? In
But
your
it's,
face, all
it's
those
great because
Yeah, man.
it's fun. It keeps you on your toes. It's fun.
That's
Yeah.
great, man. Definitely. So everybody basically in this.
Yeah, they obviously got different.
You enjoy doing it with
Yeah,
anyone,
yeah.
won't you? Because you'll pick up on their vibe. I've heard you play
Pick up
sets
on
where
the vibe.
you've
Yeah.
completely played a different set one week and a different set the next week, and it's amazing. I seen you at PST for that Straight Out the Lab, and you were playing a really dark set, and like that's my personal favourite style of drum and bass, and I love that set.
For me, I like it all.
I know.
I like
Yeah.
all of it. It's nice to just switch and go. It's like I did
That tune playing there.
little deep one.
Yeah, man.
Little deep one. One of them. It's just one of them ones.
Yeah,
One of them ones.
fresh out the thing. I don't beg no no. So money, I don't borrow. Yeah. Pick it up again.
I mean, it's like the other week I did a 7-hour set.
Wow.
Blue Mountain, Nicky all night.
Oh yeah, I've seen that actually.
I played.
saw that.
I played
So who was
the whole
MCing?
thing. I played the whole thing.
Nicky by himself.
No,
I
who
played
was MCing?
8.
Different MCs.
There was a couple of Blue Mountain residents.
Did that get recorded?
I'm gonna find out. I don't know
That'd be
actually.
good. That'd be good.
I hope it. I'm gonna after this. I'm gonna make a call.
I'm sorry.
That went, and it was great to see. It was busy as well, and it was great to see the different people that was in there because there was older people, there was younger people, and it was what I thought. What I really personally liked was that the younger people wanted to see what I was about. They weren't wanted to hear me play the latest tunes or whatever. They wanted to just see what I was about, what I'm gonna play. They wanted a little history lesson.
Yeah.
That's the most beautiful thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Great. Make sure you get me the recordings too, Nicky.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make the call now.
Right, well, we did have some quickfire questions for you, Bass. You answered some of Nicky's anyway, but where were we? Right, so we thought we'd do some funny. We thought we'd do some funnier ones for you.
As well. You can answer this as well, Nicky. You can get involved.
Black or white? Black or white?
Black.
Leg or breast?
Sarsaparilla
Is that
tits.
food or what?
Oh, you're talking about little sarsaparillas. Them are oranges. No, we're talking about titties, headlights, flash shine, wax on.
Covered in ladies.
You know, you can box.
Leg or breast, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Like, you know, one side and tweak, then turn up the bass a little bit, then punch down there. Boom.
So,
You know what I'm saying.
Which one is it, bass?
It's got to be the breast.
Nicky. Leg or breast? can get involved.
It's a bit about chicken if you
It's
really
about-
want.
it could
No,
be
it's not about
chicken.
feeling up the chicken's leg. We're talking human form
It
here.
could be chicken. It could
Gotta be the breast, yeah.
Hear that? Look up a man. It's gotta be the breast.
All right, and Bass, gook or the nook?
Huh?
The gook or the nook?
It's gotta be the gook. You see, for those what don't know what gook is, I ain't gonna explain because you can't really see my hand, but that's
When I can say that.
the gook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta cook. And then catch her on the hook. And you know, if you're real good and you're stroking yourself, she gets shook.
Nicky, we would actually that, but
You probably don't know what it means.
Stop it, man. It's a proper good interview that was, man.
Biggie or Tupac? I know you listen to hip hop a little bit.
I gotta go for the fat guy.
Biggie. I knew it was Biggie anyway.
Because Biggie is big.
Yeah.
You know, my man's slim, but Biggie's big.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was Biggie once for my birthday. So I'll go for Mr. Big.
Oh, you're the notorious bass. You, Nicky.
Yeah,
you-
Snap.
Snap
Biggie.
Biggie. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, well, finally, we were going to get you to tell some stories. You
Yeah,
know,
we want you
see
to
if
say
you've got any funny stories
stories.
of joint ventures in the last 25 years that you can think of.
No, not for the public of some
Man,
And I've had a girl actually take off her knickers and actually put it in my pocket.
This guy thinks he's
think
Michael
yours are a bit
Jackson.
less explicit, Nicky.
You gotta do like
And,
Michael
you know,
Jackson.
you didn't hear the punchline. It had the digits on the front of the
Oh,
pants.
stop it. Oh.
I still got them pants now.
Dirty under. What's the gang called?
Dirty Underpants Gang.
Underpants gang is there.
Framed on the wall.
You know what I mean?
The man, the collector of dirty pants. You got the bone collector. The collector of dirty pants.
Shout out Staple.
Oh gosh. You got any funny stories for us, Nicky? Anything
gosh.
that?
You know what? I remember back in the day when I had the VR6.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, we all used to speed, right? We did though. We all used to
did, man.
speed. Used to be. Remember, Wing Commander
Oh,
used
come
to.
on, man.
Wing Commander used
And
to
there was
drive.
no
me.
cameras there to track
That's
the
right.
speed.
And
Come on.
you know, everybody raced up and down the country.
Yeah.
That's just how it was.
Yeah.
You know, doing. I'm not even gonna say what speeds.
You don't need to know people. Just fast. Yeah. Does it need those fast?
Snell.
Remember one time, Wing Commander was driving me, and there was police coming the other way. It was like they were coming the other way.
Yeah.
The next thing, they're coming our way.
Wait, yeah, they come
the
for
next
you.
thing, I'm like, hang on a minute, they're coming for us. And so we've even put down even more down,
yeah.
and we've come off the turning. And we've gone down a side road, and we've turned the lights off, turned the thing off, and they've just gone, yeah.
Straight past.
And
You know what I'm saying?
just think if we didn't go that fast,
Fast.
we would have got caught.
Friggin', it's been great talking to you, as I swear down. It's friggin'.
Thanks for coming down.
Listen,
Yeah,
Such
you
a
know what? It's
pleasure.
been
I think
fun.
this podcast can catch off, but me and Nicky want $5,000 next time.
We got to do a part 2. We do have to do a part 2.
Definitely.
This
It's
is
not
fun.
like
This has been fun.
it's not like Charlie and the fucking Peach Factory and the Chocolate Men, Diddy Man. This is nothing like that.
Diddy
Dirty
Men.
Underpants
Diddy
Gang
Men.
versus
Tutty boy.
He'll make a living from that now.
We are the Diddy Men. So for me personally, 10 Club, first podcast in my whole life. So we
Wicked.
gotta break it down to that man is think pink, don't blink. That's smoke, joke, and a poke. That's the token. best spoken. That's the cameraman from Candyland. And that's Nicky Blackmarket, also known as the Dirty Underpants Gang. And the Shadow Minister, and also Mind the Gap. And I'm just the bass.
Just the bass. The teacher.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been
Great
great.
respect, man.
Wicked.
We'll have you down very soon. You know what I mean? People, this has been 10 Clubs podcast. I'm your host, Token
Merry
Black.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, people, and have a good New Year's.